Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is raining today, so we figured we'd clear a little brush, throw a bunch of this wet stuff into the fire, keep it burning. As it gets wetter and wetter, progressing into the season, this stuff becomes almost impossible to burn, so it's a good time to get it now. Everything is damp and really wet, but if you get a fire hot enough, this stuff will burn, so it's a good safe time to be burning. It's been raining all morning, but the weather just kicked up and the rain started hammering like crazy, so I actually threw up this tent, decided to grab a pipe and just kind of hang out for a minute while I got plenty of fire to keep burning. Right now where we are, the area that we're cleaning is our orchard. We came through in the beginning when we bought this place, the early videos of this place. We came through and we cut everything down, piled up a bunch of stuff, but we could not burn it in the springtime because it never rained. So we had to wait until now. So we're now getting the opportunity to burn all of this stuff for the orchard, which was supposed to be the big summer project that we didn't get to do because we just didn't get enough moisture to safely burn all this stuff off. There's a lot of downed wood, brush, all sorts of stuff because they came through this area, obviously logged it, and just left trash everywhere. So we have to go through and pick all that stuff up. It's a long process. We've gotten a ton done this morning, but it's taken us quite a few burns to really try to put a dent in this place and get stuff burned up. So hopefully we get plenty of it done, and then this orchard will be the big build for next year because we're not going to get an opportunity at it this year. We are expecting snow here, typical for this area. Snow coming pretty soon, and then generally when it hits, it stays and continues. So it's going to be another long winter, and then the springtime we'll get to come out here and hopefully plant an orchard. If you guys are new to the channel, my wife and I, my kids, we all live off-grid out here up in northern Idaho. The goal, this is a new homestead for us. We have had two in the past. We have sold and moved further out each time, but the goal for our family living off-grid is self-sustainability, being able to live off of the land so that we don't have to live traditional lives of going to work, earning paychecks, paying for pizza pockets. Now, we moved off-grid 8 years ago, quite a while ago, before off-grid living was really a pretty cool thing to do. We didn't know anyone who lived off-grid. We didn't see anyone who lived off-grid. We just decided that, you know, going and being a mountain man was the way of it. So the family followed, we all went, and now here we are. But it brings us to today, what we are seeing today in the nation, currently as of this week, with having deadlines for mandatory vaccines to be able to keep your job. Craziest thing ever, absolute dictatorship trying to forcibly inject the American populace. But the picture here, the big picture that I want you guys to see is this. There are some people who will be forced into having to do whatever the federal government tells them to do for fear of losing their job. I will not have to make that decision because of a self-sustaining lifestyle, because of the lifestyle that we have chosen to live, the things that we have chosen to give up and sacrifice so that we are less attached to the grid. And by less attached, I mean pretty unattached from anything where people can force our hand to do much of anything at all. Now, to me, that is the definition of ultimate freedom, being able to make your choices as a person, to do what you want, how you want. That is liberty, that is freedom. You know, your rights, your liberties, they stop right at the infringement of others up until you step on the rights and liberties of other people. And currently right now, guys, the current regime installed in power doesn't see it that way. They're not into liberty and freedom. They are into forced mandates, forced timelines. And they're willing to take your job for it. They're willing to allow your house to be foreclosed on. They're willing to watch your family starve. They're willing to keep you out of the grocery stores if need be. And we have more mandates coming down. We have more timelines coming down, especially for federal employees mostly. We see a lot of servicemen and women are unable to perform their duties or are leaving the military because of it. We're seeing lots of law enforcement, lots of first responders they're fired. They have to leave their jobs. And what that is going to do, not only is that the example of the financial gun to your head, the life that you lived that allowed someone to take that from you, you've put yourself in a position where someone can dictate your job based off edicts, mandates. But beyond that, guys, there is a bigger repercussion to first responders, city workers, county workers, government workers being off. Obviously, infrastructure is going to be the hugest impact. People leaving their jobs, firefighters, for example, you call the fire department and no one picks up. You know, you've relied on a system to be able to come and rescue you, and now it's no longer there, and the government currently knows that, is using that against you, and is willing to use it against you to get you to comply with what they want from you. That is the definition of a dictatorship, guys. We are currently being ran by a dictator regime. It's pretty crazy to see in America. I think most people thought they would never see it. It's definitely going to get worse before it gets better. And that is why I continue to put out videos to help people prepare for what is coming, because I feel called to do it. Now I could easily go about my day, not make any of these videos, not warn anyone, just shut the gates, live my life, and not let anyone be a part of it. And many people ask, how can you do that? How do you let people into your life? What about your privacy? There's a bigger picture to doing YouTube videos for me. It's not about making money. I'm actually kind of terrible at YouTube. I could make a lot more money if I treated it like a place to make money, and I don't. I suck at it. I really just like to make videos to show people the life that you can live, the fact that it is doable, the fact that you can do it with a family. You can go live off grid. You don't have to be wealthy to go do it. All it takes is the courage to actually make it happen. You have got to have the will to take that first step. And once you take that first step, guys, it's an absolute snowball effect. It just leads into the next and the next and the next steps. Before you know it, you're so busy with projects and building and doing stuff that you're a year into it already, right? You are on your way. Now, the one thing it does take from everyone, from the family, is sacrifice. You have to be willing to give up your big screen TV with your Netflix, with all of your shows. You have to be willing to give up that lifestyle of sitting around and doing nothing other than entertaining yourself and watching. It is hard work. There's lots of work to be done. Everyone has to chip in and do the work. But you have to be willing to teach those disciplines. You have to be willing to set those examples to your family. If you did not grow up doing this, it's much harder to come out and do this and to teach those values. But it's waking up, taking care of the animals, feeding them, building shelters, changing bedding, removing poop, turning that poop into dirt to be able to use for your garden a year in the future. It takes forethought. It takes the want to live a different life. And if you guys are struggling currently right now because maybe you just lost your job because you were supposed to get a poke that you didn't want in you, maybe now is the time to do it. Maybe you losing your job was a blessing in disguise, and now you, instead of losing your house, instead of scratching to get by, scrambling to figure out how your family's gonna make it, sell all the stuff you don't need, go buy land somewhere, start raising your own animals, and start being responsible for your own life. Start being responsible for your own food, your family's health, and your family's quality of life. So today is one of those exceptionally cool days where just something cool happens to you. I love living out in the wilderness because you just don't know what's going to take place. And earlier we were out here burning. We broke for lunch, went inside, and out the window here comes Mama Moose and her baby just trompsing up the driveway being like, hey guys, what are you up to? And the dogs are like, oh heck no, and chase Mama Moose and Baby Moose off into the woods and then return looking proud of themselves like they didn't fail by allowing a moose to walk all the way up to the deck. But those are the cool things you get to see in my world, guys. Those are the cool things you get to see in my lifestyle. You get to live with animals, you get to live with wildlife, cool things get to happen. You get to spend your day out in the rain, working hard for yourself. All of your hard work goes into your family and your lifestyle. You don't work 35 years for a job expecting them to take care of you, and then right before your retirement they say, hey, take this experimental you know what, or you're fired. That's a heck of a gamble. And it's the lifestyle we're used to, it's the culture we're used to. We're used to get a job, go to work there until you're too old to do anything cool, retire, and then be too old to do anything with all the money you've saved up. Never made sense to me, guys. That's why I live off here, live off grid, live out here, trying to take a new path in life, a different path in life than most. And that is why I take the time to show you guys my life, to be an example, to show you the life that you could live, that I know many of you want to live. I get comments from you guys all the time about one day, one day, one day. One day is not on the calendar, guys, and one day might be here this week. This might be the week for one day. So analyze your life, break it down, figure out what you want to do. Maybe you just want to go about your work, do whatever the government tells you to do, take whatever they tell you to take, and you know, make your paychecks and be happy. Or maybe it's time for you to make that change you've been wanting to do. I don't know. Take a look at your life, look around you, see what you got, see how important it is to you, see what the true value of it is to you, and ask yourself if that's what you really want anymore. That's all I got, guys. That is my advice for you for today on this rainy moose visiting day that I got to have today. That is the tidbit, the nugget of wisdom that I'm sharing with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will catch you on the next one. Hit that subscribe button.